Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
If you've seen the Lord of Pennies, please tell him we'd like to see him too. I am your Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey, and we're having trouble getting it in a hold of Satsu, so we had to go ahead and do this over here tonight. So sorry about the late start and the unusual setting, I guess is the way to say it.
Yes, this is alien to us all.
Indeed, it's thrown me off.
A Monkey Monday. What are we going to do with ourselves?
I can't remember the last time I hosted on Monday.
It has been a while, yeah.
Long time, yeah. But anyway, guys, sorry for the late start. There's nothing in the description or anything yet. I will get that thrown in. I just wanted to get us off and running. So how you doing tonight, Scribe?
93 degrees out today.
Jesus. Still hot there, huh?
Smoke from wildfires in the air.
Nice.
No sleep last night, or at least what sleep I had was not restful. And yeah, and I'm still baking as it is right now, but not in the good way. So, but here I am, rock me like a hurricane.
We got to get you a decent air conditioner, man.
Yeah. Well, this kind of weather only hits maybe like 2 weeks out of the year, and I'm in the second week of it. So paying for an air conditioner, cost-benefit analysis kind of thing. And I'm a cheapskate, so.
Fair enough. Sorry, I was swallowing my pills. Todd says squishy is grounded Satsu. I haven't seen him online today, and I don't know. Yeah, there we go. New monkey fundraiser. Send me money for a air conditioner Scribe's never going to buy.
No. Send money for a new co-host.
I hope everything's okay. I texted him, and hopefully he answers back. But I got woke up today twice. They're redoing my deck, and the first time I woke up was when they threw wood into the empty dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time was when Grand Monkey came in to see me because she wanted to wake up Grandpa. And everybody is on strict orders. If she ever wants to wake me up, they better let her. So,
hey, Liberal Lunacy's in the chat, or Shannon Gibbs, as it were. You know her?
Oh, I do. Hey, how you doing, Shannon?
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever seen her in the chat before. So, hello.
Shan says, what are we doing? We do a stream 6 nights a week. Usually my nights are Wednesdays and Saturdays. But yeah, we had kind of a weird thing. Do we have news today? I went to click and look real quick. I slept most of the day. What happened is I was so tired and sore after last night. Guys, I had to rewire my house a little bit, and I fell asleep for like 30 seconds 3 times, and Lady Monkey kept waking me up because I told the Saints I would go on with them. And so I got up and I went on with them, and then I wasn't tired anymore. And by the time I got tired, I didn't want to wake up Lady Monkey, so I didn't go to bed until like 7 this morning.
Eeks.
And I woke up at about 5, so I haven't seen really much of anything. So
you got a super chat.
Thank you so much, Gregory Hurst. CA can't believe it's not the third circle of hell. Oh, California can't believe it's not the third circle of hell. Yeah.
So I'll start off with that, and the rest of the stories I have are kind of potpourri, so you can be the Vanna White tonight.
I've never been no, I was Vanna once, so okay.
You've been Vanna at least once, yeah. But yeah, the car fire, that's CARR, not an actual car fire, in California is so hot, it's creating its own weather system.
Wow.
The car fire raging in Northern California is so large and hot that it is creating its own localized weather system with variable strong winds, making it difficult for experts to predict which way the blaze will spread. At least 19 people were still reported missing in Shasta County, California, officials said at a community meeting Monday evening after shifting winds, dry fuel, and steep terrain helped the monstrous fire engulf almost 100,000 acres.
Jesus.
The fire has claimed 6 lives, including a firefighter and a bulldozer operator working to extinguish the blaze. Authorities have received 48 missing person reports, but 29 people have since been found safe, according to Shasta County Sheriff. The fire, which started a week ago, has burned 98,724 acres and is just 20% contained, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Flames have destroyed at least 966 structures in the area, making it one of the top 10 most destructive wildfires in California history. In fact, 7 of the 12 most destructive fires have happened since 2015. Quote, "We are seeing more destructive, larger fires burning at rates that we have historically never seen," said Jonathan Cox, Cal Fire Regional Battalion Chief. More than 3,300 fire personnel are battling the flames with more than 330 engines and 17 helicopters. The fire began July 23rd when a vehicle suffered a mechanical failure. Firefighters had been making progress containing it until Thursday night when it began to quickly spread. High temperatures, low humidity, and increased winds are all in the forecast, setting the stage for more explosive fire behavior. There's no rain oncoming anytime in the near future. So, yeah, there's and then they go into some detail about the people who have died and other things, and so, but
that's when we read about Saturday. Was that the one with where the kid?
Yeah, the 2 kids and the grandmother. Yeah,
that sucks. God, and there's not really much you can do, especially in this one. I mean, nobody set this fire. It wasn't a errant lightning bolt. A car caught on fire.
Yeah. I mean, it just, that whole area, I mean, hell, the whole state practically turns into nothing but kindling this time of year.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. I mean, a car having a problem, a lightning strike, or just, I've heard of like, the grain silo effect has happened a couple of times, where it's just sort of like dust in the air and the conditions were just right, and it just kind of sparks off. But yeah, the fact that they're talking about how the most destructive fires on record have happened in just like the last 3 years alone. I'm not end of the world kind of thing or nothing, but I will say that where I live, it has grown increasingly hotter, longer in the past few years than I ever remember it being when I was younger. And it is a little striking because at least I have the perspective of having lived long enough in one particular area to have an idea of what's normal from year to year. And things have been changing at a rate that is, it could be just a temporary trend or something in the grand scheme of like a continental shift or whatever. But at the same time, it's not getting any less a problem year by year.
Yeah, and I get that. But for me, them saying, the costliest fire, that doesn't mean much. Because for me, more important would be, longest running fire, largest spreading fire. We had the one that was like right outside LA, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more expensive. That fire is going to be a lot more expensive than a fire that burns in the middle of the Oregon wilderness for 2 months, just because of the amount. I get what you're saying, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing that it's hotter in their stuff, because California's had a drought forever now because they live next to a fucking ocean.
Yeah,
but for me, I don't like that. Shit, I just had the word.
Explanation?
Not explanation. Measure.
Oh, metric.
Metric. Thank you. Yes, that's the word I was thinking. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome, honey dear.
My wife just brought me food.
Well, that was perfect timing then. Hello, Irate Bear, our friend from the other side of the pond. I'll have to work in your favorite word in here somehow. Well, anyway, the other stories I've got are, again, potpourri-ish stories. There's one in here that I picked out specifically thinking of Monkey.
Time out. Shannon, kiss the little one for all of us, and we'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye, Shannon. All the best to the small ones. I used to watch her videos. I still do, but I mean, when she puts one out. But yeah, she used to be, I think, it was Gamergate where I first didn't encounter her. That sounds weird, but first found Shannon, just like with Monday Matt and Jim and everybody. It was one of those one of those times where everybody was discovered over one particular issue. Anywho, let's see. So potpourri time. Your categories are, Monkey.
Okay.
Russia debt, Alyssa Milano, LeBron politics, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Let's do Guardians first.
Guardians of the Galaxy cast wants ousted director James Gunn reinstated.
Ooh.
Now I'd heard individual things from some of the actors before, like Dave Bautista and those guys kind of texted out, but I guess this is the first time that the collective, including Pratt, came out. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast has issued an open letter in support of ousted director James Gunn. The cast, including Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Bradley Cooper, said in a statement released Monday that they were shocked by the director's abrupt firing last week from the third installment of the franchise and have, quote, been encouraged by the outpouring of support from fans and members of the media who wish to see James reinstated as director of Volume 3. Disney parted ways with Gunn after a number of offensive tweets of his from the past resurfaced. They didn't resurface so much as were dredged up and tossed into the ether.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second, too. Keep going.
Yeah, the director's tweets began making rounds after conservative blogs highlighted the years-old statements, which made references to pedophilia and molestation. Made references to?
Made jokes.
Made bad jokes about. That's what you should be saying, CNN, but you're not being honest.
Dirty bastards.
The Walt Disney Studios chairman, Alan Horn, called Gunn's comments indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values. And then Alan Horn had to explain Song of the South.
Yeah.
But I've already made that joke before. In a statement announcing Gunn's termination, Gunn said he accepted Disney's decision and apologized for, quote, the way I conducted myself, unquote. Blah, 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 blah. In wake? How about in the wake? Okay, CNN.
They hate the word the.
They hate the word the or an or a, but the seems to be their most hated word. In wake of his exit from Guardians, Gunn has found several supporters in Hollywood, including Selma Blair and comedian Patton Oswalt. Saldana, Pratt, and fellow cast member Dave Bautista previously acknowledged the controversy on social media, but the cast letter marks the most notable show of support for Gunn yet. Quote, we cannot let this moment pass without expressing our love, support, and gratitude for James, the cast said. We are not here to defend his jokes of many years ago, but rather to share our experience having spent many years together on set making Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. The character of Gunn has shown in the wake of his firing... Wait, the character... I guess that meant he. Okay. The character he has shown in the wake of his firing is consistent with the man he was every day on set, and his apology now and from years ago when first addressing these remarks, we believe is from the heart, a heart we all know, trust, and love. The statement also seems to acknowledge an effort by some conservative blogs to target Gunn, a vocal opponent of President Donald Trump. Quote, there is little due process in the court of opinion. James is likely not the last good person to be put on trial. Given the growing political divide in this country, it's safe to say instances like this will continue, although we hope Americans from across the political spectrum can ease up on the character assassinations and stop weaponizing mob mentality. In casting each of us to help him tell the story of misfits who find redemption, he changed our lives forever, the cast statement added. Well, also your paychecks did that too. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We believe the theme of redemption has never been more relevant than now. So yeah, there's that.
Did you see what?
And you got a super chat too.
Oh. Thank you, Sanguine. CNN putting spin before truth. Shock, horror. Say it ain't so. Yeah, no shit. I was trying to find the exact tweet. Mike Cernovich was added again.
Yes.
Today tweeted out that the people who came to the defense of Gunn and others who made pedophile jokes didn't come to the aid of Owen Benjamin.
Remind me of who Owen Benjamin is.
He's a comedian, a British comedian who likes to he likes to push the envelope.
Okay.
He got in trouble recently, and not necessarily in trouble. He took some criticism recently for being racist on stage.
Okay.
And yeah, so what Cernovich tweets out is that what you really showed is that you don't really care about free speech. Basically, what you're actually just pedophiles. That's I'm paraphrasing his thing. I can't find it here. I'm sorry, but yeah, basically that's what he was saying. Everyone who stood up for a gun, and Sarah Silverman, and who was the other one? Michael Ian Black.
Mm.
The people who stood up for, yeah, they're actually just all pedos. They don't really care.
Right. Okay.
Which, by his logic, means that all he really cares about is racism, because that's what he's standing up for in this instance. Owen
Right.
Legend is racism. And I don't. Cernovich is a dickhole, and Cernovich is the one who kicked this all off. That's why it's important, guys, that his name be mentioned here, because he's the one that drug up Gunn's quotes and reposted them. But the idea that, what this dickhole is doing is labeling people pedophiles because he doesn't like their political ideology. He knows exactly why these people did it. And unlike some of us, yeah, they don't actually care about free speech. That's a fair thing to point out. But then to take that and go, well, that because they like to bang children is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That is fucking gross. And I hope Cernovich rots in hell.
All right. Well, on that peaceful note, we still have Russia debt, Alyssa Milano, and LeBron politics.
Okay, we're going to save Alyssa for last, because even though she's a crazy liberal bitch, she's still the best. So let's do LeBron first.
All right. LeBron James, quote, Trump is using sports to divide us.
What?
Yeah, this is one of those things where I saw the title and I was kind of like, okay, another example of Trump's omnipotence. But you have a super chat. Hello?
Thank you. I'm still here. Okay. Thank you, Point Curation. Starting or participating in witch hunt is wrong. Witch hunt is wrong. Yeah, I agree.
LeBron James thinks the president is using athletics and athletes to split up the country, and he's rejecting the premise like an opponent's ill-advised layup. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Are we on CNN still?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna wait a second. Let me read those two sentences again. Okay, LeBron James thinks the president is using athletics and athletes to split up the country, and he's rejecting the premise like an opponent's ill-advised layup. He's rejecting his own premise?
No, he's rejecting Trump's premise.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, it sounded, the way it's like he's rejecting his own premise in the second sentence. Like, what? Okay. Anyway, quote, what I've noticed over the past few months, James shared with CNN's Don Lemon during a sit-down interview on Monday, is he's kind of used sports to kind of divide us, and that's something that I can't relate to. Okay.
Wait, wow.
I know. Referencing Colin Kaepernick, who's kneeling protest during
under fucking Obama.
I know. Referencing Colin Kaepernick, who's kneeling protest during the pregame national anthem, launched an NFL movement, and more recently, Stephen Curry, who honored his promise of skipping a visit to Donald Trump's White House. James bemoaned a myriad of instances in which the president has twisted peaceful displays of dissent into an indictment of a decaying American value system. Quote, I can't sit back and say nothing, says James, who lists participating in youth athletics as one of the most inclusive experiences of his upbringing. Quote, sports was the first time I was ever around someone white, revealed the four-time NBA MVP. Quote, I got an opportunity to see them and learn about them, and they got the opportunity to learn about me. And I was like, oh, wow, this is all because of sports. Learn about the individuals or the people because they're white. Like going to the zoo and learning about the antelope or something.
Ooh, look, a honky.
Like, oh my God, there's white people. Like, oh my, what? Flashing the... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was making jokes. Keep going.
You can't make jokes. This is the current year. Flashing the trademark smile that has routinely graced magazine covers and commercial shoots since he was in junior high school. Is the writer of this like crushing on LeBron James? James laughed at learning how much earlier his youthful white friends ate dinner and went to bed, and noted his surprise at seeing food stored in a pantry. Quote, "For me, everything where I grew up was on top of the refrigerator," he explained. Okay, this has what to do with Trump again?
Because sports is supposed to be this beautiful thing that brings everyone together, and Trump's ruining that.
Right. Because like I said, Trump is omnipotent. He can just like ruin sports for everybody. It's not that, the NFL is kind of sucked because of all this stuff, bringing politics onto the field, something like that. Now a 33-year-old man with 2 sons and a daughter, James has more pantries and more refrigerators than he'd ever dreamed of as a child of a single teen mom living the, quote, everyday struggle in Akron, Ohio. But it's from this existence that the I Promise School has been born. I Promise School. James's foundation has teamed with the Akron, Ohio public school system to create an elementary school that will support at-risk children in his hometown. Okay. "We want every kid that walks through this school to be inspired, to come away with something where they can give back," said James, who poured millions from his own pocket into the project. "For kids in general, all they want to know is that someone cares, and when they walk through that door, I hope they know that someone cares." Okay, and okay, I'm sorry, for whatever, basketball, the guy's an expert. Trying to lay that kind of power at Trump's feet?
Well,
no. This was dividing people before Trump became president, because Colin Kaepernick and his bullshit tantrum over a contract negotiation, exactly, turning it into a political statement when it looked bad and nobody would hire him, and still people won't, was dividing people before Trump even swore the oath. So what the fuck are you talking about?
2 super chats real quick. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. "Trump is so good that he not only ruined sports for me, he went back in time and stopped me from ever getting interested in it." Damn, he is a dirty bastard. And Sanguine, thank you. "I find it hilarious how people like this have their first time interacting with the other story, so they assume everyone else was insular too. I'm an autist, but damn, it's people theory of mind." The point you bring up there, there's, especially with the Colin Kaepernick thing. Colin Kaepernick, yes, we've been over this. It was all a contract negotiation, but this has turned into such a political thing, and people who weren't paying attention to politics of it until Donald Trump was elected, suddenly they're like, "Look at what he did with the black people in the NFL," except it wasn't him. Trump had nothing to do with it. No more than Obama did, but Obama was president when it started.
Yeah.
So if you want to give a president some kind of, do you think maybe that was some Obama 4D chess right there? Before he left, he went to Colin Kaepernick and said, "Look, what I need you to do.
Can you please poison the well before I leave the office?"
It's so fucking it's just fucking stupid. It really is. And it was it Laura Ingraham who got shit for telling athletes that they should just keep dribbling, the basketball players, they should just go dribble or something like that.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't necessarily agree that athletes or actors or any of these people should keep their mouths closed. By all means, say what you want to.
No, not at all.
But there's a great old saying that it's better to let people think you're an idiot than open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah, like I say, when it comes to basketball or being a philanthropist or whatever else, LeBron James has it out the ears. But making statements like trying to blame the division in this country via sports on Trump, this country was dividing in the way that it is now, starting under Obama, years and years ago. I mean, if you want to talk about let's set aside the real reason Colin Kaepernick actually started sitting out, not kneeling, sitting out the national anthem at first. The excuse for it now is the shooting of unarmed black people. Okay. Yeah. Under which president did the most high profile of these events occur? Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Freddie Gray. This is all under Obama.
Yep.
This country was finding reasons to divide itself long before Trump. Now, I'm not saying that Trump has somehow like been completely innocent of not being a divisive figure in and of himself, but if we're going to start citing the divisions in sports as somehow Trump's fault, it started before. Let's be honest.
What was I going to say? Oh, when you said it started under Obama, I think that's where it got really bad. But I would put all of this actually at the feet of George Bush.
Okay.
I think that's where we really first saw the division that we have right now, as bad as it is right now, and it all came from the Iraq War stuff.
Sure.
Real quick, thank you, James Colley. Ask a veteran who served their country if kneeling during the national anthem how much peace they feel by players disrespecting their sacrificed brothers. And I get that. I do. I don't have a problem with players kneeling. I don't.
Yeah.
It's their right to, but I also have no problem with anybody giving their opinions about it,
Yeah.
or with them getting disciplined for it, because this is part of their job. And if that's what their owner wants them to do.
Actually, I think you might be right. At least it happened under Bush. I think really maybe the spark of all this, and kind of coincides with the blossoming of the social justice, I don't know, epidemic, let's call it, was the financial crisis and Occupy Wall Street, and the stark line between the haves and the have-nots that kind of like, germinated all this stuff to start really taking root as time went on.
I think Bush the Bush Gore thing, really for a lot of people was the first time they'd ever seemingly encountered the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that they realized how politics can work, and they all thought it was cheating.
Yeah.
Because they had no fucking idea what they were talking about. And I think it gave birth to a lot of people who that's just what it is. They have no goddamn clue what they're talking about. And they get very passionate when talking about shit they don't know about. Because they're young, and young people are far more passionate than old people. Sorry, old people. And I'm one of you, but
I got breaking news.
Oh, what's up? Oh, I have breaking news too. There's an SDA joining us. We're kicking it old school tonight, guys. But go ahead. Hi, SDA.
Hi.
Hello.
Scribbles has breaking news for us, so hang on.
New indicators show North Korea is potentially working on new missiles.
Oh,
man.
New indicators, including satellite images, show that North Korea could be in the midst of building new missiles, the Washington Post reported Monday, citing officials familiar with the intelligence. Yeah, okay. According to the Post, the officials said the new information reveals that work is potentially, there's a lot of maybes in this thing, that work is potentially taking place on one or two liquid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missiles in Sanumdong, a suburb of Pyongyang. Liquid-fueled rockets are harder to store and move than solid-fuel rockets because the fuel is more volatile, according to experts. The volatility of liquid fuel can cause missiles. I'm doing my Sean Connery impression. Missiles to fail in launch, and the fuel has to be stored separate from the missiles, causing a decrease in military readiness. Liquid fueling can also take a fairly long time to complete, giving U.S. spy satellites a period of time to see launch preparations underway. And the National Security Council declined to comment. So it's a bunch of maybes from secondhand information from officials familiar with the intelligence. So we got more leaks of shit. So who knows if it's accurate or not, but there you go. That's breaking news.
I want to address one. Let's get that super chat real fast. Timothy Sealbeck, thank you. Sorry, Monkey. I saw this stuff starting to build when Carter was president. I'm not saying there wasn't division. There always has been. That's kind of the point of a two-party system. If you go back in time, I mean, you had what Alexander Hamilton and Raymond Burr, or no, was it Raymond Burr?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Burr. Thank you.
Perry Mason.
My brain is like, that is not right.
Man, now that is a play that needs to happen. Perry Mason versus Alexander Hamilton. That'd be amazing.
Anyhow, so there's always been division and acrimony, but somebody else pointed out, the Clinton impeachment didn't help, and you're right there. But by the time the Clinton impeachment was done, very few people, except your very, very, very hardline writers, gave a damn. The Starr investigation ended with a not a bang. Nobody gave a fuck about it. It was the war got people motivated. Then you had, I think, Scribe's right about Occupy Wall Street. Wall Street. God, okay, I'm done talking. Hi, SDA. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I sound a bit like a frog because I got back from Australia yesterday.
How was the trip?
Oh, it was really good. It was so much fun. But the flight back, the 2 flights back, it's fucking hell on your body, man. Like, and season swapping.
I weep for you.
Is yeah, season swapping sucks. I ended up with like a nosebleed when I got home, and I sound like crap right now, but yeah, I'm okay. So yeah, I stayed with Mara, Jean-Pierre. I did. I stayed with Mara for 2 weeks. I'm still working on the last couple of vlogs, editing those together. But yeah, we had so much fun. So yeah.
You missed a super chat, Monkey. Up top.
No, I saw it. I was waiting for her to finish. Thank you, Terry Diamanis. Damn it! Now it's scrolled up. Of course it did. Super chat to teach Satsu not to take the night off. That's right. That's what you guys should do. Donate huge to teaching the lesson. And Duck Dog, thank you. This place has more leaks than the fucking Iraq Navy. And thank you, Gregory Hurst. Monkey, don't forget Lincoln and Michael Douglas. Yeah, well, yeah. If you wanna fuck with me because I said something stupid, you're right. You're right.
Okay. Artists in the chat. We need a Raymond Burr versus Alexander Hamilton mashup. Real quick. I mean, if Jordan 250 is listening, by all means, give us that, because that's just too funny. And if you can clip that little piece of audio and then put it together into a little bit, that'd be great. Anyway,
make a mistake in these parts.
That's right. You'll never live it down. Russia debt, because we already know that Alyssa Milano is going to be the last one.
Yes.
Russia dumped 84% of its American debt. Russia has rapidly sold off the vast majority of its stash of American debt. Between March and May, Russia's holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds plummeted by $81 billion, representing 84% of its total U.S. debt holdings. The sudden debt dump may have contributed to a short-term spike in Treasury rates that spooked the market. 10-year Treasury yields topped 3% in April for the first time since 2014. It also sparked a guessing game about Moscow's motivations. Maybe Russia just wanted to diversify its portfolio, as the central bank stated, or perhaps Russia was seeking revenge for Washington's crippling sanctions on aluminum maker Rusal. Either way, there's little debate over the long-term impact. Russia selling has not hurt America's ability to borrow money. That's because investors, particularly life insurers and pension funds that serve aging baby boomers, have a big appetite for fixed income. Treasury rates quickly descended back below 3% because demand for bonds continued to grow. So much ado about nothing, I guess. But still, $81 billion. That's
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So,
although when you compare it to the U.S. debt,
yeah, 81 billion ain't shit.
That sounds like a fun time, honestly.
Yeah, drop in the bucket.
Yeah. It doesn't sound too bad when you put it into perspective, I suppose. Although when you do put it into terms of Russia's population and all that kind of stuff as well, then I guess.
I'm sorry. Did the story tell us how much they have invested total in other markets?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Hold on. Let me see.
Because 81 billion, if all they do is say 200 billion, that's a huge thing.
Let's see. Hold on a second. This video is playing in my ear now. Stop it. Let's see. Russia's shrinking stockpile of U.S. treasuries. So in December of 2017, they were at 102.2 billion. As of May, they went down to 14.9. So presumably they're still hovering around there as far as what they have in treasuries. So they've got, let's say $14 billion left of their treasury bonds.
Oh wow! So yeah, that's quite a bit that they got rid of. But all right.
Okay, and lastly, your friend Alyssa Milano.
Yay, I love Alyssa. She's dumb, but I'd
A
like to put my dick in her.
It was actually funny because when I got to Australia, Mara had me sit down and watch Charmed. We
Oh,
watched
God.
most of the first. We watched most of the first season. Sorry, I'm jet lagged. Having trouble talking today. Holy crap! Today I ordered a salad without ranch. It was like a mess. Anyway,
Horror.
like I could not like order food. My mom was like, "I got this because this is a train wreck." Charmed is a really terrible show.
Yes. And they're rebooting it right now.
Are they really? Why?
Because Buffy's being rebooted. So why not reboot
which is also
Charmed?
a bad idea.
Yeah. So anyway, Alyssa Milano, a 3D printed gun is downloadable death.
Shut up. Alyssa,
What?
goddamn. How can you be so pretty and so stupid at the same time?
This is actually written by Alyssa Milano.
Okay.
This is
it written by her? That's
yes.
cute.
This is an editor. This is a social commentary op-ed from Alyssa Milano herself. And the editor's note describes Alyssa Milano is an actor, activist, and producer. She will next be seen in the Netflix dark comedy Insatiable. Oh, you mean the one that's fat shaming?
Yes, that's the one.
Milano is also the founder of #Nora, a collective of over 50 artists and activists focused on hacking the gun violence culture through art and counteracting the influence of the gun lobby in the American political system.
Can we stop
Time out.
using the word hacking?
Yes, that's what I was going to.
Like, I hate
Hacking.
it when people say that. They're like, somebody hacked my Facebook account. No, they didn't. They guessed your password, which is like your dog's name plus your birthday. Shut up.
This is what we need to do.
Worse because I mean this isn't even them hacking something. This is
we need to resurrect the phrase phone freaking to distinguish that from like this hacking bullshit.
Like, I hate it.
It's stupid.
It drives me up a freaking wall.
Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. The only thing Alyssa Milano was good. Is that supposed to be 4? And it just okay. I'm gonna go with good 4.
So.
Was Embrace of the Vampire. I loved her in Who's the Boss. Sam was awesome. Oh God, and I got 2 more. Thank you. 3-sided coin. True story. I'm printing the Liberator right now. And Sanguine, thank you. Because nice tits don't act as backup brains, monkey. That's true. But
Well, yeah,
Right.
I was told that's why Charmed was popular.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Shannon Doherty and what's her butt from so you had Alyssa Milano, Shannon Doherty, and I forget the other girl's name, but she was from Picket Fences, and she was always really cute.
She was, yeah.
But she was the only one that I didn't like. I never watched the show, but whenever I saw the ads and stuff, I'm just like, forget the other two, but the middle girl, she's cool. Anyway, Alyssa Milano's wisdom. Imagine this. The convicted domestic abuser next door tries to buy a gun. He's turned down because he fails his background check. When he gets home, he opens up his browser, and in half an hour, he's printing out his own undetectable, fully functional plastic gun with no background check and no record of his purchase.
Yeah, because he has a fully functional 3D printer right in his living room.
As of August 1st, it will be a reality in America unless we are able to stop it. Well, you can't, I'm afraid. That's kind of the problem with the open internet. Due to a settlement between the State Department and Defense Distributed, a Texas-based designer of 3D guns, felons, domestic abusers, terrorists, those adjudicated too mentally ill to own guns, and any other person unable to legally purchase firearms will be able to print one at home. Depending on the printer, they can be untraceable in plastic, or they can be metal. People will be able to make anything from novelty guns to AR-15s, and we will never know until it is too late. It gets worse. This requires a legislative fix immediately, and the House of Representatives session adjourned for August recess on Thursday. In other words, there won't be a fix. There won't be a fix this month. It is not hyperbole to say that this could mean the end of our ability to have meaningful gun violence prevention in America. Okay, hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Is she absolutely wrong here?
Let me get this real fast and then I'll answer that. Thank you, average apathetic American. Hey guys, today's my girlfriend's birthday and she absolutely loves your singing. So could you please sing for her? You may call her Pixie Panda. Yes, we will sing for Pixie Panda.
She loves our singing. She has absolutely no taste whatsoever.
Let us finish this story real quick and we'll do it right after that. Is she wrong? No. Yeah, you can You could do that if you have all this stuff. But here's the thing. If you have a 3D printer and all that, you could download the specs for what a gun looks like, what each piece is, and make it yourself too. A legislative fix won't fix what she's worried about. Oh God.
Yep.
I'm sorry, my chat keeps jumping and I'm trying to keep up with this stuff, guys. I'm so sorry. 3-sided coin, thank you. Oh my God, the Liberator is a single shot 9mm with no accuracy. What others are only able to fire once before being deformed beyond use? Yeah, you can make the gun out of this. It's the fire from the bullet is going to fuck it all up. That's why you make this stuff out of high grade steel. Not plastic on your computer, but technically, no, she's not wrong. Yes, you could download the specs for an AR-15 and print it out yourself and put it all together. But if you have the money to make all that, it'd be cheaper just to go down to the bad part of town and buy an unregistered.
Well, I don't think her worries are unfounded, but like you say, I'm not quite sure how you legislate it away. I mean, if you make the distribution of gun plans a crime, let's say like you put it, and I'm going broad strokes here, but let's say you put in the same category, say either having possession of or distributing child pornography or something like that. You make it that kind of crime,
Sure.
as far as like holding information.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop it.
No,
Right,
but
right.
I also think that Monkey has a really good point as far as like the pain in the ass factor of it. I mean, think about how much of a pain in the dick it would be to have to download and print and put together an AR-15 or like any kind of handgun. Like you might as well just go get it done.
The point that 3-sided gun brought up is absolutely. Thank you, Sanguine. So print guns for old school mob style hits. Yes, exactly.
3-sided gun.
Is that what I said? 3-sided coin. God damn.
Sorry, that was just between Raymond Burr and that. I'm just having a ball.
What 3-sided coin was talking about, a 3D printer. As far as I know, they don't print in steel.
Yeah,
unless you have really special
that
equipment like a
really
CAD
good
or something.
Thank you, Timothy Sealbeck. Law is such that you can make your own gun as long as you don't intend to sell it, regardless of why you can't buy one. Black powder, percussion cap weapons are not considered firearms under federal law. This is true as well.
Yeah, I mean,
but her worry about you printing an AR-15. Okay, you're going to pull the trigger, even if you print the magazine, you print the whole gun, go out and buy yourself some bullets because you're not going to print the bullets.
Yet.
Or what if you do print the bullets, Monkey? Well,
same thing.
What if you print plastic bullets, Monkey?
Print the blasting cap. Yeah, let's see how that works out for you.
Into your AR-15 or some shit. I don't know how the physics of that would work, actually. I'd have to think about it.
So you put the magazine in, all loaded. You aim it, you pull the trigger once, and your gun is fucked up.
Monkey, that's not the point,
useless.
Okay? Oh, the humanity.
You're more likely to blow yourself up at that point.
No, what I do is I print out.
Scream Allahu Akbar first.
I print out 8 one-shot guns and have them as a bandolier on, and then I just pull them out as I need them.
I mean, then we're back to the pain in the ass factor of this, aren't we?
I know.
It's like, I mean, think about how annoying this would be. Like, and I can tell you, and this is gonna sound stupid, but as somebody who's into like Rubik's cubes, okay, like 5-6 years ago, for some of like the larger, more complicated cubes, how they started out was people were 3D printing the models of them, and you actually had to go to websites and 3D print them and put them together yourself, and they didn't really work that well. And then companies picked them up and actually started making them, and that's like how it worked. But before that, people either had to hand build them by modding like other cubes or like by 3D printing them. It was a pain in the ass. But it's easier if somebody just fucking makes the thing. Like, nobody would do this other than like 2 people if this was the only way to get a gun.
The reason that this has come up is because there was just a recent court ruling about it. And I believe it was the Supreme Court. The problem is putting the information out there on how to make it is free speech. It just is. If Congress wants to try to pass a law against it, they would have to make it so specific as to not violate what the Supreme Court just ruled, or it's going to end up right back there, and they're going to rule the same thing again.
Right.
Real quick, thank you, Timothy Seelbeck. Remember, the ATF only considers the receiver to be the weapon. Anyone can buy as many barrels as they want. Fair enough. Three-sided coin, thank you. You can print steel. The one I'm printing right now is made out of stainless steel, but the problem is the plastic steel hybrid is nowhere near as strong. P.S. I own both FFL gun store and a 3D printing company. Have you ever actually printed a gun and used it three-sided? And Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Finally, a musket can be considered rapid fire as compared to a once-a-minute rate of fire you have once every 4 hours. Yeah. It's just not practical is the problem. It's not. Seriously, and I'm not telling you guys to do this. It would be far cheaper to go buy an illegal gun. Far less problem. The only problem there is you might get shot doing it. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Three-sided coin says you're actually printing one. Have you ever fired one? He's printing one right now. That wraps up.
But I guess it's like a good scare tactic. I don't know. I mean, but this is like another way that it's kind of clear that people who are really this terrified of guns don't know a lot about them. Someone said it's cheaper and easier possibly to just make a gun. That's true too. I mean, there are people who just make guns.
Yeah. So Monkey is saying go out and buy illegal guns. That is not what I'm saying. I want to be clear here. I am not suggesting you do that. I'm suggesting it's as a practical matter. Alyssa Milano would be far more. She'd be making a better point if she was talking about how the criminal element is still way too prevalent in our less served communities. Let's say, like Compton, where they stopped policing at all. With that, I believe we're done with that was the last story, right, Scribbles?
Yeah.
Guys, if you have a story you'd like us to read, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all the stories, but we do appreciate every submission you give us. Scribe.
Breaking news, Monkey forgot the birthday song.
I did forget the birthday song. I also forgot Monkey Dick Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button, y'all, and don't forget to share. The birthday song was for Pixie Panda. Is that what it was? Thank you for catching that, Scribbles.
I tried.
Yes, Pixie Panda. Okay, so before we start the MSS News part of the show, Pixie Panda, are you out there? Are you listening? Your boyfriend put in this request, so I'm not going to talk dirty to you, but this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pixie Panda. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pixie Panda. I hope you had a great one, and I hope Average Apathetic American did something nice for you for your birthday besides this horrible song. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Nice weapons, men. Where do you get them? Bass Pro, Cabela's, Field and Stream, Kinko's. Well played, well played. Jesus Christ, this is lit up with my name, and I cannot possibly read all of that right now yet, guys. I am so sorry. Don't forget, at the bottom of the second hour, we go into question time. So if there was something you really wanted me to address, make sure you hit us then. So MSS News. And I'm sorry I said so loudly there. I apologize.
Okay. I'm probably good for just a few here because my voice is already starting to give out, but we'll do a couple. This one comes from Massive Dynamics.
Timeout.
Okay.
Boatman put into MSS News. Lords of the Night title to be determined. This stream put into MSS News.
Oh, there you go.
So massive dynamics, you said.
Smallville actress pleads not guilty to conspiracy charges.
Oh.
An heiress to the Seagram's liquor fortune, a TV actress and the co-founders of a purported self-help group appeared in court together for the first time on Wednesday to face charges in a case accusing the group of branding women and forcing them to have unwanted sex. Keith Raniere, the former head of NXIVM, and Allison Mack, best known for playing a teenage friend of Superman in the CW network's Smallville, pleaded not guilty to conspiracy charges contained in a revised indictment unsealed earlier in the week. They had previously pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking charges. The new indictment added heiress Claire Bronfman and group co-founder Nancy Salzman as co-defendants. Both also pleaded not guilty. The defendants mostly appeared not to acknowledge each other in court, except for Mack and Bronfman, who smiled and chatted at the defense table before the proceeding began. Raniere is being held without bail. Bronfman is free after posting a $100 million bond. Jesus. Mack and Salzman are free on $5 million bonds. Where did they get all the money? I know that the heiress lady, she's got tons of money, but still. Anyway, so yeah, the NXIVM stuff is only just starting, so get ready for a new circus when that finally gets going.
All right, that's the one with the crazy dude who wanted all the. That's the sex one, basically, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure because my memory, you know me.
That's all right. Related to that, one more from Massive Dynamics. Elizabeth Smart reportedly tried to save Catherine Oxenberg's daughter from the NXIVM sex cult. Okay. Famed kidnapping survivor Elizabeth Smart tried to save actress Catherine Oxenberg's daughter from the NXIVM sex slave cult, according to a new report. Smart, who was held captive and raped for 9 months at age 14, tried to aid the Dynasty star after learning her daughter India was part of the Upstate group, where Smallville actress Allison Mack allegedly blackmailed women into having sex with its leader and branded their skin with his initials. Quote, "We made a plan for her to send an email to India asking if she needed support, explaining that she too had been a victim of media exposure and experienced many emotions that India might be going through," Oxenberg writes in her new memoir. Smart wrote a beautiful, heartfelt letter to India, but India never responded, she writes. Okay. Well, there you go.
Is all of MS News tonight about the?
No, just a couple that Massive Dynamics sent.
Oh, gotcha. I thought we were having a.
Let's see. This one comes from Sarah Plyer. Teen attaches uplifting notes to a bridge and it's saving lives.
Is it? Is it really?
An English teenager who has attached uplifting messages onto a Sunderland bridge to help those in despair has been commended by Northumbria police for saving lives. Paige Hunter, 18, has handwritten more than 40 inspirational notes and attached them to the railings of the Wearmouth Bridge to offer hope and comfort to people considering suicide. Quote, "Even though things are difficult, your life matters. You're a shining light in a dark world, so just hold on," she wrote in one of her notes. As the compassionate teenager returned to the bridge this week, Northumbria Police Chief Superintendent Sarah Pitt presented her with a framed commendation certificate to recognize her selfless acts.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, good on the kid for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But how? Okay, you bring me a couple of people who go, you know what? I saw her note and decided I shouldn't end my life, and then I'll be like, okay, yeah, she did something. Otherwise, you might as well have a whiteboard there.
Well, let's see. Excuse me. Paige, who works as a sales assistant at a variety store, said it was just something she wanted to do. Quote, "I just want to help people, and I've been told it's already helped save 6 lives," she said.
All right.
Okay. Again, not, anyway.
I'm saving lives right now because people are listening to us instead of shooting themselves. Don't shoot yourselves. Listen to Lords of the Night.
With a 3D printed gun.
With a 3D printed gun.
This one comes from an American Celt. Yeah, I saw this all over the place today, and Monday Matt made a video. Mia Khalifa, the former porn star, says her breast implant was deflated by a rogue hockey puck at the Stanley Cup game.
Ouch.
Former porn star Mia Khalifa has a unique and painful souvenir from this year's NHL playoffs. In a new interview with the UK's Daily Star, Khalifa, now the co-host of podcast Sports Ball, revealed that she'll undergo reconstructive surgery after allegedly being hit by a flying hockey puck earlier this year. Quote, I was sitting behind the glass during a game and it came shooting over the glass and it caught me so off guard. I had no idea it was coming, said Khalifa, 25. God, I can't believe she's only 25. She added, I grabbed my chest and I didn't want to let go because I felt like if I did let go, blood was going to be everywhere. My breast is now slightly deflated and I'll be getting it fixed next year. And there's a picture of her like covering up her chest and everything. Somebody made the joke on Twitter that her implant probably saved her from blunt force trauma to the heart.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Airbags.
I've seen this in different places too. This one comes from Froggy. Cruise ship guards killing of polar bear sparks international outrage. Norwegian authorities on Monday defended the actions of guards from a German cruise ship that killed a polar bear that had attacked and injured a crew member, saying they at first tried to scare it away. Police spokesman Oli Jakob Malmo said 2 members of the 12-man crew that set foot on the most northern island of the Svalbard archipelago ahead of tourists on Saturday first tried to ward off the bear by shouting and making loud noises, as well as firing a signal pistol, but to no effect. A 42-year-old German man who was not identified sustained minor head injuries from the attack. The incident sparked international outrage, with animal rights activists saying that it was wrong to begin with to let tourists from the MS Bremen cruise ship encroach upon territory known as a habitat for the vulnerable species. Well, you know, hindsight's 2020, but the bear was attacking somebody, so
yeah.
Anyway.
I'm so tired of people getting their panties in a wad when we put down an animal that has killed somebody and is still, or in the case of Harambe, where I mean that child was going to die.
Yeah.
Sorry, we put people first, and fuck that polar bear. Fuck him right in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do in that situation?
You're supposed to let the people die.
Like, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not kidding. That's where we are at this point in animal rights.
Okay, so somebody died, but like at least we saved Fluffy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get something from someone.
Sorry, guys.
And you know what? Maybe it is a good thing to go, you know what? You guys shouldn't be here. And that way, thank you, Point Curation. Harambe died for our sins. Your sins. I'm a monkey. I don't have any. But a good point to go, you know, maybe you shouldn't be there so that, you know, the next polar bear doesn't have to be shot after he kills someone. But in this instance, and thank you, Sanguine Ranting Monkey now advocates for buggering bears. I've advocated for buggering bear a lot.
Yeah, irate bear needs some attention.
He's the bottom. We've discussed this.
Let me do one more because I'm starting to lose it. This one comes from Ms. Slim 1. Suspect in slaying of New York nurse caught holding woman captive in LA hotel.
What?
Yeah, police say a man wanted in connection with a nurse's murder in New York was holding another woman captive when he was captured Thursday in a California hotel room. Police had been searching for 27-year-old Danuel? I don't know, Danueal, Daniel Drayton of New Haven, Connecticut, since 29-year-old nurse Samantha Stewart was found dead inside her bedroom at her family home in Queens on July 17th. Stewart reportedly suffered trauma to her head and neck. The NYPD says they've also linked Drayton to the rape of a 23-year-old woman in Brooklyn last month. Authorities believe Drayton met both of those women on Tinder, the station reports. The joint New York-New Jersey police task force tracked Drayton to the Los Angeles hotel Thursday, where they arrested him and rescued another woman he was holding against her will. Quote, right after he commit, I'm reading it as it's written, right after he commit a gruesome murder here and destroy my family, he went to California and just almost did the same thing, Stewart's father, Kenneth Stewart, told CBS New York. Thank God they catch him before he could destroy another family. Excuse me. Police believe Drayton may have used other dating sites to meet more potential victims and urged anyone with information to come forward. Drayton is accused of strangling and sexually assaulting the 28-year-old victim in California, according to Los Angeles County prosecutors. He faces charges there of attempted murder, forcible rape, false imprisonment by violence, and sexual penetration by a foreign object. Bail was set at $1.25 million at a hearing Friday. There you go.
Sounds like a wonderful person.
Yeah, go away in a box forever and die, please.
Let's see. That'll bring us to the end of MSS News. Guys, thank you so much for your submissions. I didn't realize how late it was already. That brings us to YouTube time. And SDA, what you been working on?
Well, I do still need to get the last couple of vlogs for Australia together. I still haven't put the ones together where we went up to the mountains and stuff like that. And there are a few other ones like me trying Australian food, which I know some of you guys will find quite hilarious because I didn't like most of it.
You tried Vegemite?
I did.
What'd you think?
It tastes like jizz.
Nope. Yeah, well, that's an interesting comparison.
Everybody disagrees with me, but I don't disagree with me. No, it was a fun video to make though. We also did Vegemite ice cream, and that'll be its own separate video. So that was also a really fun time. I also tried dick bacon.
Oh yes.
How was dick bacon?
I guess you guys will have to see.
Oh, a teaser. I see what you did there. All right.
So yeah, all those will be coming out soon. I just need a day or two to recover before I get back into editing. Because I'm like a little brain dead right now. But yeah, probably Wednesday or Thursday, all of those will be coming out, and I'll be sprinkling in like normal videos here and there so that it's not just all weird kind of vloggy stuff. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on.
And Scribbles, what have you been working on?
Well, I'm debating over a couple of different things. So one is I've got a whole bunch of videos like in my watch later list that I've sort of collected over time on potential things to do a video on. But some of them, like, they're either not very long individually, or the parts that actually caught my attention weren't very long in a longer video. So I'm debating about maybe doing some kind of like compilation kind of deal, or like some kind of like montage video where I just take the bits and pieces that caught my attention and do one sort of omnibus video on that. I'm also thinking about doing something different. I'm thinking about doing a historical video after a fashion. I was going to look into the little-known incident in American history where Perry Mason shot Alexander Hamilton.
I hate you people.
Yeah,
thank you, Toasted Network. Riley Dennis blocked me on Twitter for asking if she would debate a conservative on her podcast. Girl Pals. He also blocked me on her Twitch stream. Huh?
Oh my God, Blair White blocked me on Twitter.
Saw that.
Why?
Wait. We can get to fuckery in just a second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
That's
I
right.
thought it was fucketry.
Huh?
I thought it was fucketry.
We go back and forth.
Well, Sassy says fucketry.
No, he says fuckery. I say fucketry. And I appreciate you sticking up for me, even though you forgot and thought it was someone else. Was that all, Scribbles, your joke about my Perry Mason thing?
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of debating on whether or not to do a montage or compilation video, but otherwise, yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff in my watch later folder. The other one I was looking at, have you ever heard of I think it's a rapper named French Montana? That's the name of the person. You ever heard that name before?
No.
Yeah, I never have either, but French Montana apparently was either a DACA recipient or at least someone who was brought over here illegally. And he sat down with some other people who were DACA recipients or want to be or something. And they said something to the effect of like, yeah, it's great living here and everything. And then I wanted to go to college. And then I just, I've heard about the glass ceiling, but then I just hit it. And I'm thinking, you mean the law. And it was just a very odd sort of conversation. So I'm debating about doing something on that, but it might just be kind of too silly to make comment on. But anyway, that's what I've been thinking about.
All right. Guys, I've been busy, so I have not gotten any further on the one. I'm still doing the free speech one because that's what I want to do it on. As far as free speech with comedy is concerned, so that'll be coming. I don't think we're going to be gaming tonight. Normally, this would be a game night where me and Satsu play State of Decay 2, but I haven't heard anything from him. Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you now, probably not, guys. Now we can get into fucketry. SDA, why don't you tell Scribe here why you got blocked by Blair White?
So essentially, Sofane made a joke saying that if you watch Blair White's videos, you're gay, which, in my opinion, if you read that on Twitter from like anybody with half a fucking brain would be like, that's a joke. Because if I was like, if you watch Monkey's videos, or if you watch Joey Salad's videos, or if you watch fucking like Blue's Clues, you're gay, I feel like everybody would know that I don't literally mean when you watch Blue's Clues, you're like, I'm watching Blue's Clues, yes, queen. And if you do, you're a fucking retard. But because people who watch Blair White are apparently fucking retarded, I guess some people like don't know it's a joke, including Blair White, because Blair White's fucking full of herself. And we're not allowed to say it because she's a tranny and she's like untouchable. But anyway, and I pretty much was like, you know it's a joke. Stop saying you know it's a joke. And then she blocked me.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was interesting.
I think it's dumb that like you're not allowed to criticize Blair White, because if anybody with an actual vagina acted the way that Blair White acts, everybody would hate her guts. Because
see, I disagree with that because Shoe-on Head exists. Yeah. She acts worse than Blair most of the time. So.
No, Blair White was walking around I don't know if you know about this, but Blair White was walking around VidCon with like a fucking camera crew.
Well, I heard that. Yeah, they were shooting a documentary about her.
Yeah, and like she was being like a fucking bitch to everybody, and like nobody was amused with that. So like I will say that. I mean, she's like, and Shoe-on Head is actually nice.
It depends.
In person.
Well, in person, maybe. I've never met the woman,
like,
but
she's actually pleasant in person. So I guess there is that. In my experience, she's been not as. I mean, like online, like you guys know, like she's been not as pleasant to me. But like we actually talked to each other about it at VidCon, and everything. So there was that, but. Like it's just like it annoys me that there are people that you're not allowed to criticize, like just because they're super self-important. It drives me fucking nuts. And then I think Chris Ray Gunn was like, well, you should know that you're not allowed to joke because what if you're not friends with her?
Well, see, I think pretty much everybody involved in that argument got it wrong, including you, dear, which I told you then, because
yeah, I know.
I have no problem with Blair firing back at Sofane for what he said.
Well, neither do I.
It was two people shitposting each other, and for the most part, it was neither of them who was involved in the dust up that came afterwards. Because you commented like twice before she blocked you, but there were people who like whole threads of shit over this, and like, really, guys, really? It's okay for criticism to exist all around, And that's the part of the whole conversation that bothered me is that again, I had no problem with what Blair said, and there were other people who came in. Sofane's a fucking asshole. I love Sofane. You can have that opinion about him, though. I'll think you're wrong, and I'll tell you I think you're wrong.
He's not an asshole.
He can be, but
He's
so
not,
can I.
though.
Sofane is one of those people who isn't afraid to share his opinion, and that upsets a lot of people.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like he sticks his foot in it a lot.
And I feel his pain because I've been there. And
no, there are times where like you walk away from him and you're just like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
and don't get me alone for 2 seconds.
I fucking love Fane. I do. He makes me laugh.
Yeah. No, I just like.
Sometimes he picks fights he doesn't need to pick.
No, there's definitely that, but I just like I it's not that I don't think that she has a right to fire back or anything like that. I just think that like the fact that he says anybody who watches Blair White is gay, and then she's like, "Oh, how could you?" I'm like, really? Not that like you're not allowed to, you know, how could you? But just I think the how could you itself is dumb. Like the fact that your brain goes to how could you instead of clearly that. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. I just, like I said, I didn't see either of their comments to be horrible. Fane made his comment, and I was actually one of the people who read the whole thread because I saw a lot of people say it was just a joke. You can see clearly in there that Fane does not necessarily like Blair White, and especially her comment, and that's fine. You don't have to. But there are people. It's only a joke. I'm like, well, no, actually, if you pay attention to what was said there, he doesn't like her, and that's fine. He's allowed to criticize her and make it, and he did it in a joking fashion. So it's like, calm down, guys. But yeah, I think everybody was a little too, dare I say, tribal over that one.
Ooh.
I mean, like, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like really good friends with Fane though, so yeah, I get bitchy when people like super dogpile him over dumb shit like that. Yeah, I get bitchy about it. Like, I have no problem admitting that.
I just love when Pat makes comments about it because Pat's always like, "Oh, so look what Poisoning the Well did this time." Yeah, it's great. But anyway, yeah. And for the record, guys, if people want to criticize me, that's fine. Let them. I will clap back, as the kids say.
Clap back. I hate that.
Clap back,
phrase.
y'all.
I hate that phrase. It sounds so.
Dude, that phrase is lit.
Oh no, you don't, white
it's
boy.
Lit, fam.
It is lit, fam, and what else did what else do the kids say these days? Anyway, I didn't see any other. Gang. The only other fucketry I saw, and kind of goes into what little deep topic I have for tonight, was Cernovich's tweet. And
all right,
oh god, that fucker. We talked about it a little bit earlier, guys.
Mike Cernovich is driving me up a fucking wall. Like all this, and this is like a video I made actually in Australia about the whole James Gunn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like a live stream because people in my comment section were being fucking morons because they were all like, he deserved to be fired because he said a thing I didn't like, and now I want to get him back because I'm cranky. So I'm gonna be an SJW now. Fucking idiots. And fucking Mike Cernovich is an idiot too. You're all fucking morally inept dumb fucks. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I forgot to mention that during YouTube time last night, I was on the YouTube Saints, and we discussed some stuff like that. The tribal mentality of way too many damn people. I pretty much fucked up the YouTube Saints last night. Because they are funny guys who tell funny jokes all the time, and we got onto politics, and I went into monkey mode because we talked about some shit that annoys me. But Cernovich kind of makes the point for me this time, because he put out this tweet today where he suggests that the people who stood up for Gunn with the comments that he made are basically pedophiles.
Yeah, he's
And
a fucknut. Sorry.
yeah, and somebody asked me that they say, I don't get what you're meaning here, and here's what I mean by that. Cernovich knows that.
Oh my god! Sorry.
What?
Can I?
Well, let me finish my thought here. And then
Yeah,
you can.
you go for it.
Cernovich knows good and well that all of this was about tribalism. It's people defending their side. The people who defend Owens for his free speech weren't standing up for Gunn for his, by and large, and the people who stood up for Gunn weren't standing up for Owen. It had nothing to do with, like I say, Owen Benjamin did a show where he said some racist things on stage. The people who defend him as free speech, I don't think that they're actually racist. I don't think that they actually give a shit about free speech. I think that they like Owen Benjamin, so they're standing up for him. And on the other side, I don't think people standing up for Gunn are pedophiles. I think they like him, and I know for a fact that a lot of them don't fucking believe in free speech, because many of them will tell you. But to take what happened and to make it into, well, obviously they're just pedophiles. They only defended Gunn because they like to dick kids. No. And when you take tribalism that far, how do you take tribalism? Ignore it to fucking push tribalism. What kind of an asshole do you have to be? That's what it was all about. It was the two sides defending the people that they like.
Yeah,
because,
you're right.
And so this motherfucker comes up there with, we got to make this even more tribal. Are you fucking kidding? It's not bad enough for you? That guy, I don't want to say that out loud, because if I say out loud that I would love to punch him in the face and it ever happens, then that's like evidence.
All right.
So I won't say that. Go ahead.
I have words. Midnight in Exile said, SGA, they won't stop forcing these rules on us until they are forced to follow those rules themselves. Why is that so hard to understand?
Not happen.
Hold on. Midnight in Exile, I love you because you are a longtime supporter of the show. But, dear dumbass.
I talked about this last week.
If your morals go out the window because you are cranky, you don't believe in freedom of speech, okay? You don't just get to throw your morals out the window because somebody pisses you off, all right? That's just not how that works. You either believe that he has the freedom of speech or you don't, okay? If you're just hell-bent on revenge fantasies, then don't you ever come at me telling me that you believe in freedom of speech. Okay? Well, because if you're going to forfeit his right to have freedom of speech, then you better forfeit your right too.
Here's the problem with that thinking, and I addressed this last week. Every time that you try to force somebody to live by their rules, all you're doing is giving into their rules.
Exactly.
So they never go, oh, I see what you meant because it bit me in the ass. They go, oh, you're right. We all need to change. This is what happens. Okay. And you can actually see this with like the gun stuff. It's already happening. The people who are supporting Gunn, and you want to make Gunn live by his standards. So you get him fired. And then people go, well, see, it was okay to get Roseanne fired. They don't go, oh my God, you got one of ours fired. They go, see, you're right. He made a mistake. We need to make sure none of these mistakes happen ever again. We need to get everybody who does this. That's what happens. Nobody goes, oh, this shouldn't happen anymore. I see what you were talking about. Because what you've just done is taken your morals and butt fuck them for their enjoyment.
Exactly.
And think about this. My morals are now your morals. Let's all have this fucking party.
Yeah, exactly. And think about this. Think about if you showed somebody a little fucking compassion, right? Think about if they're going for James Gunn for his throat, okay? And you, the conservatives, with some fucking morals come in and you go, you know what? Yeah, you fucked up, but look at this. You've actually changed your behavior and said that you don't like this person and said that becoming a big Hollywood director and growing up, because people grow up, changed you as a person. Now you're this person and it is what it is, right? Say that everybody came at it with compassion. maybe that would actually change some shit. I mean, and you know how we know that it would? Case in point, fucking Lacey Green.
Yeah. And she's still, I mean, Lacey still has her SJW side, but she's not the let's burn them all down kind of person anymore. She's, oh, maybe we should talk. Maybe we should learn what other people think. But for me, the point of this whole thing, if you take the rule for radical, rule number 4, because that's what we're talking about here, make them live by their rules. When you do that, those rules become yours.
Lacey Green hasn't changed. Okay, the point is not for Lacey Green to adopt your ideology. The point is for Lacey Green to talk to people and to become,
Lacey absolutely has changed.
And to become a reasonable person who doesn't see the other side as an evil human being. I mean, think about this. Think about if Riley Dennis kept her ideas, but instead of keeping her political kept her political viewpoints, but actually saw Trump supporters as human beings. Think about how much of a change that would be. I mean, what if Riley Dennis was still a socialist fucking retard, but saw Trump supporters as human beings? That would be a massive change.
Yeah, when you say Lacey hasn't changed, Lacey
probably
absolutely has. If you go back and look at how she used to talk and how she would just demonize everyone she disagreed with and flat out demonize them, she does not do that anymore. She doesn't just take a hard line, well, you disagree with me, you're a horrible person. What SDA was just talking about there, you're a horrible person because you disagree with me. She might still disagree, but she'll have a conversation. She'll talk with you. And even if you disagree at the end, she doesn't think she doesn't just blast like she used to, like the SJW typical behavior.
In Midnight Exile, you're saying she may have changed the paint job, but the structure still remains, still pushing, listen, and believe, and taking no responsibility. But here's the thing, though. I think your problem is that you're not seeing the change in her as a person. You're only viewing her as a set of ideology. You're not viewing her as a human being right now. You need to actually look at it from a human perspective, okay? She's somebody who would be willing, she's somebody who's willing to talk to people, who's willing to not see, eye to eye. And it's important that we start meeting people in the middle that way, because you're not going to agree with everybody, and that is okay, because that's how we find compromise, because you're not going to agree with everybody, and that's how we have a democracy.
Civility.
That's
civility? What? No.
I know it's racist. No,
yeah, that's how we have a republic that works, is by being able to say, okay, you think about, you like, listen, and believe in stuff, and I don't, but all right, so how can we write laws and stuff that work? How can we make it work? And the only way to make all of this work and all of this function is by seeing everybody as a human being. You have to start there.
I don't want everybody to agree with me. I hope they do, because I'm always right. But I don't mind people disagreeing with me and having different ideologies. That's healthy for the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem has become that over the last, at least say 2 decades, the two sides have gotten so toxic. And I know people hate that word, but it is. They've gotten toxic towards each other. And I've seen the right getting worse and worse and worse, to where they are flat out demonizing anybody who disagrees with them. And exactly. Sorry, Midnight, that's what you're doing right now. If you don't agree with me because you have this different ideology, you're bad. You just changed your paint job because you're being nice. Nice is a good thing. Nice is something that we need more of.
Oh, civility, Monkey, you're wrong.
I mean, think about it. Monkey just ripped into me for, defending Sophane, because that is a little bit tribal, and he's right about that. And that's fine.
I was nice about it.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's totally okay. We've disagreed a million times on this show.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
The thing that Cernovich is pointing right now, what he's doing, is horrific.
Agree.
And I don't care if you like what he says, if you agree with his ideology or not. His tactics right now are fucking horrible.
Yep.
and somebody needs to bitch slap him.
As a conservative, it pisses me off.
Theoretically, not
for the past couple years, conservatives have been the one who have been kind of holding it together, right?
not anymore.
Like
Yeah.
they've been the ones who are like, let's be civil, let's have an open dialogue, and now they're just like,
Well, this is the thing. Rules for radicals. There were a lot of people. If you go back to the election of 2008, they pointed out that Obama was using Alinsky's rules for radicals,
right,
and it was a bad thing. And then Sargon picks up rules for radicals, and suddenly it becomes the best thing ever.
right.
I've read the rules. They're dumb. They are dumb as shit, and they turn you into a fucking flaming hypocrite. And if you follow them, that's what you'll be. And if you're fine with that, you're fine with that. But I'll call you out for it every time because I don't enjoy hypocrisy. This whole thing, like right now with Owen Benjamin, I will stand up for any joke he wants to tell on stage. I don't care how fucking crude it is. I don't necessarily like his jokes, but he should be allowed to say them. Same thing with Gunn. He was making jokes on Twitter. Same thing with Sarah Silverman, her joke. I still can't believe how many people got, I can't believe she said this. I'm like, fuck off.
You ever listen to Sarah Silverman's comedy in the first place?
Yeah, no shit. She's controversial is a nice way to put it.
Watch The Aristocrats. If you want to see like a documentary that talks about all sort of the fundamentals of what we're talking about right now, about offense and outrage and manufacturing a moral standard for something that ends up being humor. The documentary The Aristocrats is really one to watch if you have a certain, stomach for disgusting jokes, because that's what that whole thing is.
This is completely off topic, but they mentioned it on the Saints last night, and I was wondering if you had heard of this. Have you, Scribbles, heard about the problem with how so much of The Last Jedi is taken like from Escape from LA?
Oh, so yeah, so the ending of The Last Jedi, and people have done mashups about this, and I think, I know I didn't say it on the show, unfortunately, because I would have sounded like a prophet, but I know I said it to friends of mine when I was like, when Luke's being shot and it all goes through him, I'm like, that was a Snake Plissken move. Yeah, that's been side by side shown, and it is kind of remarkable, not only the scene breakdown itself, but just how it's all laid out. How similar it is to Escape from LA.
I never even heard of it, but the person they highlighted for under sub of the week, and I forget his name. Sorry, you can go to the Saints and it's linked there. But they were doing side by side comparison. I'm like,
yep.
Holy fuck! I mean, they might as well just put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, and you can say, homage, blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe, kind of, sort of, except, no.
I actually want to address what BG just said there in chat. He said, you can only be attacked for so long, lose friends because you believe different, and be forced to hold your tongue. Yes, we need to step back and have a cooler head, but a lot have reached breaking point. Do you know how old I am? How long I've been arguing politics? How many friends I've lost because they disagree with me? If you turn into, what is it? What's the saying?
All the sayings, don't be an asshole.
Hi, Lady Monkey.
SDA says hi.
I just got so excited. Sorry.
You're turning into the monster that you hate, basically. And yeah, I think about Dr. King so much in these kind of situations. What that man went through in his life, the absolute horrible things done to him, and he never changed his message. He never said, you know what, fuck them, we need to fight back.
Yeah.
His message was always, you know what, no matter what they do to us, we need to be peaceful.
And honestly, if
and he went through a lot more shit than you are, I guarantee it.
Well, this is the thing. If you can't handle some people bitching at you on Twitter, that's a you problem. And that kind of just shows like a weakness of character. So if you can't handle a few people bitching at you on Twitter or something before you go, all right, fuck this, fuck my morals, I don't believe in freedom of speech anymore, then that's a you issue, and maybe you should step away from politics and go watch some SpongeBob because you can't handle it. Okay, this is a you issue, and you should probably reevaluate the way that you're spending your time.
Prospero, this is a quote. If you can keep your head while all around you are losing theirs, you'll be a man, my son. Yeah, exactly. And RJ points out that it's chat time. Yes, it is, guys.
Yes, it is.
Comments, questions, concerns, anything that starts with a C that you want to throw in there, throw it in now, and we will do our best to answer them. Speaking of which, RJ starts out with a question. Do you think social justice has become an excuse for people to turn into internet bullies, like how SJWs do this same thing to their critics? Yes, but not just internet bullies. SJWs are bullies. They're trying to bully people into believing how they believe,
Even when they're on the right wing.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it's not exclusive to the left wing.
Not anymore, man.
And you know what? And don't come at me acting like I'm not a conservative just because I start pointing out that the conservatives are turning into SJWs. Okay.
That's another thing we run into a lot, isn't it?
I hate it. They're like, I thought you were conservative. I am, which is why it pisses me off.
You know what? It was Jeff last night. He said he feels bad that people like Alex Jones. Good night, baby doll. Love you. That people like Cernovich and Alex Jones, these are who the conservatives have to look up to now.
Yes, it pisses me off as well.
Yeah,
it upsets me.
If you're a conservative and those were the loudest voices for you, I would be pissed off. I'm not conservative. I am far too centrist for my own good, I guess, because it pisses people off. But right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care which side is taking it.
You're concentric.
I'm concentric, yes.
I mean, I'm conservative, and it's not that like I want to align myself with a political party in particular.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's just that when you take all of my beliefs, and like I can't help that I'm conservative. It's just what I am. So I am associated with these people because those are my political beliefs. So I'm gonna have to bitch at you guys because fuck you guys.
Well, it's why I'm not a libertarian, because the libertarians are just too hard line in what they want to do. Are you here?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, dude?
Where you been?
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah.
That's my first question. Everything okay?
I'm good. So quick explanation. Basically, I've been trying to get back on a human sleep schedule.
You called it, scribe.
And what has happened is, even though Squishy is still trying to, like, she makes me go to sleep early or whatever, I still wake up in the same 3 hours that I usually sleep anyway. So I went to sleep last night, right after we got done streaming, and I got back up in 3 hours, and I've been up since. At about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I was sitting here I'm cool. I wasn't cool, and I literally shut down. I don't even remember falling asleep. I was halfway off of this chair, almost under my computer table when I woke up. And
you need to turn on the ringer on your damn phone, dude.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. The only time he's ever texted me was when he texted me first, and then I replied, and he never texted back. Little fucker. Anyway, I'm glad I'm glad to hear that you're okay, and that all it was you overslept. You're free to take Wednesday if you want, dude. You've missed some great super chats. There were people donating just because you weren't here to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, I figured. I'm sorry, guys.
You got any YouTube stuff you want to talk about? Because you missed that part.
Shit, I've been sleeping.
Okay, so Tatsu ain't done nothing either. He's embracing his inner monkey. I've got to stop saying that. God damn it. Who pointed that out? Who pointed that shit out?
Sorry.
That is a landmine you have set for yourself, so sir.
Funny. You know what's really hilarious? We went to the zoo while I was in Australia. And Mara's daughter, who's about 2, she's really into the monkeys. And we were walking past black people. and she was just like, monkeys, 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 monkeys.
You need to thunk her on the head.
We had just walked away from the squirrel monkeys, and she like loved the squirrel monkeys, so she was so excited about the monkeys.
Okay, back to our questions here. Sorry. The original Shroom says, I'm 58 and have been discussing politics since I was 16. Just how many more years do I need to allow the left to walk over me? Why are you letting them walk over you?
I mean, like, why do you have
Nobody
such a
walks over me.
mentality?
Wait. No, hang on. Nobody walks over me. The SJWs and shit, they might pull a lot of nonsense, but they're not walking over me. And I'm not selling out my values because somebody else is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you being such a little bitch?
Well, you know what?
Sorry.
I'm gonna, because I heard some of this conversation before I had popped in or whatever. Some people seem to think that the only option in their activism or to fight the shit that they are against is to mimic it, and that's not the only thing on the table. There are ways to fight against people's fuckery without doing that same thing. Now, the reason that those people are weak and we criticize them so heavily is because they take the easy way out, and that's going against all of their morals and doing shit that they bitch about and stuff like that. That's easy. That's super fucking easy to do. It's hard to combat that type of shit while sticking to yours, and that's what makes you respectable in my eyes. You know what I mean? So the moment you fold and the moment you crack, you become them, and I lose respect for you. I mean, it's, you know, and it sucks. It's hard to do that and to keep that going, but that's kind of the way it is, unfortunately.
Let's see. Did you see Starbucks in California selling paper straws individually wrapped in plastic? I did not, but that is fucking awesome.
That's good for them, I think. That's such what? Why?
Because the whole straw thing is fucking moronic to begin with. It is based on a paper a kid wrote with no fucking evidence.
When did I become a mother? When did I say I'm a mom? What the fuck? Where'd you guys?
I don't know.
Where the fuck did you guys get that from?
Have you been porked recently?
No.
Okay.
Well,
no, except for, yeah.
You know what? This is a funny thing. If you ask a woman if she's had sex lately, if she hasn't, she'll immediately go no. But if she has, she'll be like, I'm not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's amazing. Let's see. Did you talk about the Animal House being problematic article? I just stepped away for a little bit and just returned. We didn't. Are they the movie Animal House?
Yeah, I don't know what that's talking about.
I mean, by today's standards, of course, it's problematic. How do you feel about color blindness? If you're talking about people being colorblind in reality, literally colorblind, fuck those people. If you're talking about people who are if you're talking about the colorblind,
fuck people with a disability.
Oh my god. Okay, you were talking
I'm
about
disabled.
You said you were walking around the zoo with your 2-year-old. No.
No, Mara's 2-year-old.
Mara's 2-year-old. I was in Australia. We went to the zoo.
But if you're talking about the king, judge me by my character, not the color of my skin, color blindness, I think that is the only way to get past racism. Period.
I think the philosophy itself is good, but also some people say it and they don't quite know what it means, or they use it as like a veil to ignore the fact that they're kind of just assholes. Because I mean, there's a difference. Like, everybody sees color. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody in the world who's just like, I had no idea that black guy I'm talking to was black. Like, you know.
I don't think any intelligent person thinks that's what it means.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, some people.
No,
some people say that shit, but they definitely, absolutely do.
Talk about it. That's what that's what they say. They're because Francesca Ramsey's always like, as if you don't know I'm black. It's like, no shit, you stupid ass bitch. But like,
yeah.
But I'm not gonna like smack you in the face because of it.
Yeah, I can't help but know Satsu's black. I've seen his face.
I can't help it.
I wouldn't. You guys just saw an instance of me not giving a fuck about his color. I would say to Scribe, if he was acting like me, you just embraced your inner monkey. And I said the same thing to Satsu, which, frankly, a lot of white people, but I shouldn't say that. I never even thought about it till somebody pointed it out in chat. Because
Right.
Satsu's just a dude to me. I don't give a fuck about what color he is. And yes, I can see he's black, but that's not the point. The point is that you treat everybody the same, period, no matter what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
James Colley, go ahead.
You don't treat them the same necessarily, but you take them on without any expectations and just, treat them as they treat you. You treat people equally based on their behavior towards you. The whole, do unto others kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sure, but to me, that's treating them equal.
Okay, all right.
Because if you're an asshole to me and I'll be an asshole to you, I don't care what color you are.
Okay, all right.
So I get what you're saying, and you're right.
I'm just being a nitpicker. Don't mind me, Raymond Burr.
No, I think that's an important thing to point out because a lot of times if you're an asshole to somebody these days and they're a person of color, it's like, oh, you don't like people of color. It's like, no, I don't like assholes. I don't care what color they are. I don't like white assholes either.
Well, you're allowed to not like white assholes.
I don't want them bleached. That's all I'm saying.
That's
James
the only
Colley-
way, monkey. It's the only way.
James Colley asks, "What's the straw thing?" There's a growing movement to get rid of plastic straws, and California, is it California? Have they actually banned them? I can't.
It's California. Well, I don't know. I think
Is
it's
it certain
California.
cities?
Well, it's California. I don't know if it's a state initiative, but I know certain businesses have made the pledge. But yeah, I don't know about the territories in
they're
particular.
banning sunscreen in Hawaii.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Well, no,
but-
it's to save the reefs.
Skin cancer everywhere.
It's to
But
save
they
the
want to
reefs.
get rid of it because some kid wrote a essay about how many straws there are in landfills,
Right.
and he pulled a number out of his ass and threw it into this, and it's just been accepted. And you can look it up. There's no evidence for what this kid did, or this kid, the evidence that this kid used. But it's been embraced, and so what they're doing is a lot of these places are turning to paper straws. And there was it in England where if the server, I can't remember. I'm sorry guys. We've seen so many stories of these lately, but there was a place where if a server offered or gave you a plastic straw and you hadn't specifically asked for it, they could be fined.
Yes,
Oh, I think that was in California somewhere.
that is a thing.
Sanguine, thank you. So go back to enslave the losing side of a conflict, not just the dark people. Yes, look, if you are conquering, you enslave everybody. You don't let the white people off. You make them fuckers work too. You're missing out on a whole. Yeah, they don't work as hard as black people, but you're missing out on some free labor there. That's all I'm saying. Nobody's gonna come with me on that one.
Nope.
Sorry, I was
Sorry.
reading what Check Your Logic said. I thought it was sunblock. I heard that had certain types of ingredients in it that was bad for the environment. Yeah, because all the reefs around Hawaii are dying. They're starting to ban things where like certain chemicals are getting into the ocean that are contributing to like all the reefs dying and stuff, and some of them are in sunblock, so they're banning certain types of sunblock in Hawaii.
Methdo says, I'm going to see Lauren Southern at her talk in New Zealand. Should I just do the VIP pass or upgrade to have dinner with her? Depends on how much you like her. I'm not a huge Lauren Southern fan. I would upgrade to the dinner with her just to probably piss her off. And not because I'd want to piss her off, but just to challenge her on some of the stupid shit she says. Because Lauren Southern is one of these people who there's many things that she says that I agree with, and then she goes completely nuts. And it's much like how the conservatives have people like Alex Jones to look up to. When you're a mouthpiece for certain ones of my beliefs. Like, because she is anti-SJW, and you're a moron, I have an issue with you, and I'd like to take that up. What else do we have here? Whites don't work as hard as blacks. Laugh my ass off. when it comes to physical labor, black people are generally stronger than white people. You don't have to like it for it to be true. I mean, look at the NFL. How many white people there now? Because blacks are more
I'm
athletic than us.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't. Are you saying that the NFL is not dominated by Irishmen?
I'm saying that you don't see a lot of Asians there either.
The NFL is made up entirely of mainland Chinese people.
Yes, it is. Look, isn't it Jimmy the
Sorry.
Greek who got in trouble for that?
What?
What was Jimmy the Greek? He got in trouble for. It was kind of like Howard Cosell. He made a statement that, in context, he was at he at a restaurant or something. He said something to someone, and that got him in trouble. I think it was something like that.
Jimmy the Greek is the one. He got fired for saying that blacks were better athletes because they were bred through slavery.
It was something similar to that. Yeah. He was Jimmy the Greek was he was originally sort of like a playmaker and a betting guy, and then he got on TV because he was basically like sizing up the sports teams and things like that. And then and then he got Howard Coselled, and then he basically died into obscurity. Basically.
Thank you, Cryptic. It's San Francisco, and it's a 6-month jail time and up to $5,000 fine. Street crap is less important. There's a study that shows that the U.S. contribute 1% of the massive plastic pile. The rest is everybody else. Yeah. Thank you for getting the specifics on that for me, Cryptic. We've read so many stories of that recently, 3 or 4 of them in the last month or so, and they kind of run together. But yeah, and especially in San Francisco, where when he says street crap, he's not being figurative there. Literally, there is shit all over the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Piles of crap. Monkey is still arrogant, says Scrappy. I'm not arrogant. I'm confident.
That reminds me, there was a time where I forget who said it, but I read it somewhere. It's like someone accused someone of being conceited. And the response was, "I'm not conceited. I'm convinced."
Yes, I remember. Yeah, that was a saying back in the 80s a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel about SJW's ranting about color representation in movies? I think Satsu hits this on the head so well. They only care about representation. But they don't actually care about representation. What they want to see is nothing but black people.
Yeah.
You don't see them going, there's not enough white people in this Tyler Perry movie.
Oh yeah. And just the statement itself, color representation, is already a red flag to me.
How about we just get the best actors for the job?
No, Monkey, merit what?
I know, meritocracy. What a bitch. Did you do the Alyssa Milano thing tonight to make me give you money? No.
I did it. Blame me. I picked the story.
Yeah, Scribe picks the stories almost all the time. The only time we pick stories, if I pick a story, chances are I'll read it. And to answer your question, this weekend we are testing the printed guns. Cool. Let me know how that goes. I'm very interested to see how viable they are. Though slavery was so many years ago, so the statistics should be based on modern black and white. About working and labor, it would be a fairer and smarter statistic. I was being facetious when I said black people work harder than whites. There is some, I'm using air quotes here.
Careful.
No, again, looking at the NFL, when it comes to like athletics and stuff, black people run faster than white people. I don't know why. Probably because they had to run from white people.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up something from my anthropology class in high school.
Sure.
And someone, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be misremembering this. It's something called the Lark-Spur heel. And it's a feature that is more common, I believe, in black people than it is in most other races. I could be mistaken. Like I say, somebody correct me if I've got that wrong, but that was what I was taught, is how the ability to jump higher, run faster, etc.,
Yeah.
is biological in nature.
Thank you, Sanguine Monkey. It tends to be backs are black, line is a lot of white and black, and then special teams tend white. Except the guy who catches the ball, because you want somebody who runs fast. There are some biological differences between white, black, and Asian. Asians have really, really tiny penises. Blacks run really fast. White people will enslave you. These are biological traits. I'm gonna get
monkey. It's not enslavement. We call that sports agency now.
Yes, indeed. It's the NCAA is what it is. Shit. If I paint my computer black, will it run faster or stop working? Sheograth, you're an asshole. You are an asshole, but I love you. Charles Foster says, Ranting Monkey, if it wasn't for your humility, you would be perfect. I am far more humble than you realize. I'm seeing people on Twitter saying Hillary Clinton's DMs are open. What would you DM her if you were so inclined? I'd ask her who fathered her daughter.
Oh.
Yikes.
Meth Dose asked earlier, he said he was going to opt for he or she, sorry, I'm
assuming gender.
Is going to opt for the dinner with Lauren. What question would I ask? I would have to go back through a lot of her stuff, but specifically that group she's been working with in Europe. What's the name of it? Fuck, I forget. Somebody's going to tell me, and by then it'll be too long. But too long ago. But I would ask her how a group that's so blatantly racist doesn't seem racist to her. And I'm asking that sincerely because they are Eurocentric, which means white. And that's another thing. I'm not racist. I'm Eurocentric. You're racist, fucker. Own it. Just don't lie. You like white people. Be that way. Why do you? I hate fucking flowery language to make shit sound better than it is. And whether it's racism or being crippled, just use real words. Sorry. Nothing for you here says, I'm so humble, probably the most humble person I've ever met, as humble as they come, Ranting Monkey. No, if I talked about how good I actually was, you guys you'd be like, wow. I hold a lot back. Sats, where are we playing tonight?
I'm really proud of you for that.
Were we going to play tonight?
I'm good to go if you still.
Okay, so guys, yeah, join us over on 2 cents plus for State of Decay.
Yeah, State of Decay.
Yes, State of Decay. I did look yesterday, and everything was updated. So unless they dropped one today, it should be good to go still. That'll be in about 15-20 minutes, guys, over on 2 cents plus. Excuse me, Ranty Monkey. Poor tend to dominate sports since they see it as a way out. Jews used to dominate basketball in the first half of the 1990s. Or 1900s.
Because becoming an NFL player is like the easiest way to get out of the hood. Am I right?
Time out. The only reason Jews dominated basketball for the first half of the 1900s is because blacks weren't allowed to play it in.
Yeah.
So let's be real here. I don't disagree with you about the poor people tending to dominate it because, yeah, it's something. It's not only a way out, but it's something to do. And for a lot of kids, school sports is all they have. Monkey, how did you like Pac-Man versus Superman? Says Gregory Hunt. Thank you for the donation. I don't know what that is.
Is that like Raymond Burr versus Alexander Hamilton?
Fuck you. Says, what if they're talking about cultural, civic, nationalistic, Eurocentric, not racial? I have no problem with that because if you're talking about like national pride, like I am an American and I am Americentric, I guess. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're an immigrant. I don't care. As long as you believe in the values of this country, the things that we typically stand for, free speech, free expression, the free exchange of ideas, freedom of religion, keeping government as small as possible while it's still having its place in the world. I don't care where you're from, what you look like, and yeah, I welcome you here, and I will hug you as a brother. But I have a hard time believing that's what Lauren Southern is talking about when I ain't never seen that woman around anything darker than milk. And you'll notice that about those European cultural nationalists. Yeah, them some seriously white honkies. Do you think cultural appropriation creates more stereotypes? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it reinforces stereotypes. It's almost like it requires stereotypes in order to even make the claim. Like,
Indeed.
Only these kinds of people can say this, look like this, wear this, etc. So.
Let's see, we got 3 minutes left, guys. What are your thoughts on Zionism? Oh God.
Oh Lord.
I think like loaded questions.
Well, they know I'm in a mood tonight, so they're asking everything. Let's see. Zionism. It's not as prevalent as it's made out to be. It's another one of those cases where somebody wrote something and it most of the world didn't pay any attention to it, but one person found, oh, a Jew said Zionism, and then some Jews jumped onto it, and then some anti-Jews pointed it out, and there's been this fight over it. And what I think is the Israeli people have a right to their society and to run it as they want to, but I also think they need to keep themselves in check. I'm not a Jew supporter just because they're Jews. When they're right, I think they're right. When they're wrong, I think they're wrong. And I don't give a shit about any other Jewish stuff. They do you. As long as you're not fucking with anybody else, I don't care. You see, there are non-white IE people in her videos. Sanguine. I'm just going to have to differ with you on this. I think that woman is a racist. I do, and I don't mind saying it. Is she your clan racist? No, I think she just wants to live in a white society, and that she's too cowardly to just say it. Guys, with that, it's pretty much going to wrap it up. And I see that my screen is lit up in orange. Sorry about that. That I didn't get to everything, but we are at the top of the hour here, and by the time I'm done, we will be probably at 11:01. So let's get this over with. Chat, seriously, thank you for all the donations tonight. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, and how much I appreciate all of you just for being here, for interacting. We talked earlier, about being able to have different ideas and still be civil, and I think we actually have a good mix of that in our chat, and that's you guys. That's you guys being able to hear an opinion you don't necessarily like and still coming back for more, and that says a lot about you. You guys are awesome. SDA. Thank you so much for being Satsu for a while tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm glad you got back from your trip safely. Satsu, I'm glad you woke up for the end of this. A pleasure as always, guys. And everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.